It's the Doomsday Men Part 2. And just in case you've been for a cup of tea, here's the last half of the last episode.
Last episode, yeah.
Actually, this is not bad, actually.
Yeah, this is the sort of reprise you need.
Yeah, it's quickie.
We see.
Oh no, they're playing a slow version of the theme here.
Yeah.
Shh.
Ooh, is that a heartbeat?
No, that's me.
Where?
Oh, is it you?
No.
You're getting excited, are you?
No, I can.
You're right, there is a heartbeat.
There's something there.
Yeah.
That wasn't there before, was it?
No, I don't know what that is.
I have to say, that was extremely good. How many takes did it to get that sword to do exactly that?
I can't remember.
Without you
sliced your
moving?
ankle.
First
No,
take.
without him moving.
Knowing me, it was just probably the first take. They used to call me First Take Pete.
No. I thought it'll never get better than the first take. Pete, so. It'll do.
You see is what you get.
You're
It's
right, there is a
sharp.
heartbeat thing going on there.
Wasn't there before, I don't
No.
think. We'll have to wind that back and see later on.
They had an idea between episodes.
What's the matter? Scared, are you?
Bearing in mind you can just jaunt if you want, I don't think it really matters, do you?
That's true.
But he doesn't want to give himself away, does he?
No, well, like all Scots, he's too mean to give himself away. I do have some Scots ancestry before I get complaints from those of you who live in North Britain.
North Britain.
Yes, that won't get any complaints at all, will it?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You mean the sweaties?
Oh, God.
Mind you, this would be right up Marty Pello's street, because he's Scottish, isn't he?
Is it?
So I'll give him it.
And
Burning
you're
sword.
working with him at the moment.
I'm
we
working.
should explain for
I
the
am working with
audience.
Mr. Marty Pello.
The burning sword.
And he likes the Tomorrow People.
He is a big fan.
Yeah.
And he's a bit of a strange stalker.
Had he heard of this episode?
Probably. I don't know. Oh, look, that's quite
I was
good.
looking for an interesting story.
I know.
You are quite good in it.
Yeah, yes,
actually.
but although he does have to do the mouth movement.
It's almost.
That's all right. Oh, that's very good.
It's almost as good as the acting, isn't it?
Whoa. Hey.
Oh dear, look at this.
Hey.
Eat your heart out, Errol
Very
Flynn.
good.
Yes.
You should have done that.
Well, what we tried to do is flick it. If you press this blade down, it can actually double somersaults in the air and you catch the handle.
I just disarmed them.
Seems a bit unfair when you've got special powers.
The elbows.
There's a lot of eating in this episode,
This
isn't
is
there?
my explain my behaviour.
Yeah.
Yes, because I said you could just disappear, didn't I?
Stephen is reluctant to tell you is that before he became one of the Tomorrow People,
Yeah.
before he broke out,
He was a bit of a smart
a schoolboy fencing champion.
No, he can do smug then.
He learned from a master, Nicholas.
Well, Operation Silver Thread is tomorrow. I'm certain it's got something to do with the Damocles space.
Why they didn't tell me not to stick food in my mouth while I was speaking.
Well, then they had a good excuse, but we couldn't understand you.
Now, this is a funny little interlude here.
Yeah, but it's free music, that's why. There's no copyright on this piece.
Who's this? Oh, is this the...
That's it. He's got the good
Now,
space suit.
That was a quick...
Fraser, your bed area is a mess, boy. Did you clean it this morning?
Yes, sir.
No, you didn't, Fraser, you little liar.
Yes, I did.
Don't answer back, boy. Go and wait for me outside my study.
He played Michael York's in Great Expectation with Michael York. He played young Pip.
Did he? Oh, the boy did.
Yeah, Simon.
Yeah. Now, why do
I'll give
astronauts
you 8 points
do that
today,
with their
McClellan.
arms?
Thank you, sir.
He's on one leg.
Punkt.
Oh, sir, about Jameson.
Yes, McClellan?
Well, he is thinking of making the regular army his career, and I thought that...
Yes, maybe. Maybe.
In the
dreadful, isn't
Schutzstaffel.
it? Oh,
There he is. Don't touch the booty. It does say, doesn't it? Danger explosive
Yes.
bolts. I mean,
There we
Something
go.
has just cropped up in connection
Something's
with the
cropped up. He's come a cropper.
there's a flying nip. There's a nip in the air.
Please.
Oh, dear.
That's my line, actually, Peter, isn't it? There's a nasty nip in the air.
Keeping up with
It's actually Chinese,
I do.
anyway.
race relations
Oh,
here.
gosh,
Totally
look,
apologise.
another black actor. I saw very few of those in the episode.
They don't give him any lines, though.
No.
And they should get rid of that baseball cap.
It's all part of the uniform.
It's honorable to take their own lives. But I shall not bite on the suicide capsule inside my helmet.
Because I can't reach it.
I can't undo the wrapper.
Stars out here. They're very beautiful.
How's he going to get that
Yeah,
capsule?
there were some beautiful stars in the Tomorrow People. There's no doubt. He's quite right.
More time is left to me. Signing off.
So I'm not going to meditate. Difficult to do in a suit, I would have thought.
The quality of the reception. Those signals were never meant to be heard on Earth.
I've got a different colour book. I'm sure it was white before.
We know the Doomsday Men have
Unless that's the lights.
Well, shouldn't we do something to help that astronaut? I mean, they can't help him, but surely with our special powers we can.
We can. I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
See, the trouble
But we
is,
won't.
Yes.
if you save one Chinese in 1974, you can have a million of them, you see. So.
This is outrageous.
She's walking out of the studio, and so am I. Now look,
Here, I'm getting
Passionate.
angry here.
yes.
And how you're going
Quite
to make
right.
the world a peaceful place. And what do you do about it? Sit in judgment on whether to risk your lives for a mere sap. Well, they're humans too, you know, like you and me.
I didn't say they weren't.
This is why I changed careers, you see. This is
I'm
exactly why I became a youth worker.
Yes.
Sort out the world.
You just can't see that I'm far more valuable than a sap. It's ridiculous.
That man out there is
That
much
man out there
responsible.
is risking his life, is giving his life for something he believes in, like
Ooh.
Absolutely.
Go for it,
what you
Liz.
two are prepared to do.
All right.
All right.
This was, of course, the big early years of feminism,
You
wasn't
better
it?
get out of that kilt. You can't go into space dressed like that.
Doesn't want to lose an argument, does he?
Yeah, that's right.
Thank God, more comedy. You see,
Yeah.
look, they immediately after that big serious scene,
Yeah.
They go into
Give it a
this
bit of-
ridiculousness.
nonsense.
Is that Van? That's Van again. Yeah.
But why do you have such long hair? Was it just so we didn't believe it was... Because he didn't really have long hair, did he?
can't
Yes, he did.
Did he?
Yeah, he had that long grey hair.
Everyone had long hair.
Before we disappear this
Oh,
time.
CMD.
Oh, look, yes. See? Kilroy.
Oh, you see. What am I saying?
Oh dear. There is glass there.
Yep, as empty as the Sahara.
Well, I don't know how they managed to get rid of the reflection if there is.
Maybe you're
very good.
right.
I think it's a piece of fake cardboard.
Yeah.
It is very.
What are you doing there then?
Oh, no,
Hang on,
no,
look.
no. It's cut perspex, isn't it? Because you can see Peter's hair behind it.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
But I don't think there's any glass in the middle bit.
That's very true.
Kilroy was here. It's not a 1966,
No, there's a
it's a
bit of-
90... Yeah, you're right.
Also, Sprach Zarathustra.
1969.
Same.
Don't jump up and down on your hat, whatever you do.
The gag worked last time, let's try it again.
Yes! And
Oh, there it is.
there's a bit of a Doctor Who joke coming up in a minute.
I wouldn't be too sure, Elizabeth.
As a Doctor Who fan, I thought I'd just mention
The
that.
Russians have been sending up the last 15 years. Yeah. And the French,
Well, at least it was taxed.
Here we go.
Japanese, and the Chinese, and even the British. Yeah, better keep a lookout for a police box.
That astronaut yet?
I thought it was funny.
I think that's quite good, actually.
I'm leaving now. That was my favourite bit.
Yeah.
Front end.
There he
Was
is.
that written on there before?
No.
There he is!
Ah, there's a chink in his armour.
Oh dear God.
How's my old van standing up to being a spaceship?
Never mind, Liz.
Miss Elizabeth
say
Dyer would like to
nothing,
totally
nothing.
dissociate herself from any remarks made in the programme.
Yes.
Yes. Big Finish would like to say that the views expressed on this TV&D commentary aren't necessarily those of
Of
the
the
company.
management.
Yes.
No.
And Nicholas Young's address is.
I like all the hand movements you're doing, all that kind of slowy.
Terrible chroma key spill there.
I can't quite work out why you did take the van into space. Why couldn't you
The
just?
same place they went up.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. Really. It doesn't make sense,
Well,
but
it
then
doesn't make any
again.
difference to me if I'm,
Just
you
to
know.
annoy the traffic
Yeah,
warden.
exactly.
Yeah, oh, that's right.
Oh,
there
here
you
we
go. Yeah, feeling dejected.
It's nice to.
Oh, dear.
Nice to see a rounded character
Yeah.
being portrayed so realistically.
All right, don't we go and nick a big magnet? No?
Why don't
I
we?
remember something like that.
Because
Yeah,
we're-
Yeah.
except for
Well, we've seen it
We nick a
again.
magnet, don't we? From a scrapyard.
Sounds like an attractive idea.
I think that's
Maybe-
another story.
Oh, is that another storyline?
Yes.
Oh, look.
It's a story you weren't in, actually. It was not
He had a
You were
really nice
suggesting we went
spacesuit.
and did that rather than doing this. Why don't we go and nick a big magnet? No, we'll do the DVD commentary instead.
Yes.
So. That spacesuit, I think, is from UFO or
yeah,
something.
it was. It was because I remember we were all jealous about it.
Yes, it was
Very
lovely one,
classy,
wasn't
isn't it?
Yeah, we had that silly.
He's got a proper visor.
Yeah.
First of all, we've got to get this man out of his suit. His life support system's exhausted.
Listen to the
I
line.
like it. I want the suit.
Listen to the line. You are so ordinary, you all do.
No,
Thank God for the comedy music, otherwise we wouldn't have known this was meant to be funny.
He's got his catch.
They just let him go, didn't they? They filmed it, said just
Yeah.
go and do something funny with the van.
Wait, it's Roger directed all this lot, didn't
Direct.
He looks a little like the chap
Okay.
from
Here we
Vision
go.
On.
This is the line. Here we go. Actually, it isn't the line because he has to find out who we are first.
Mm.
If that was what his point of view, you'd be looking into the camera, wouldn't you?
There's that blurry bit, but
Yes. that's
Now, if he
true.
holds
We would be
focus
looking
on Peter, we'll know who directed it.
It would be appropriate to ask, where am I?
Well, later perhaps we may tell you.
But Shepherd's Bush, actually.
Shepherd's Bush. Yeah.
I do not believe there is life after death.
You must think it's in heaven.
What an idiot!
So you critter will think it's in the other place.
Oh.
Nicely wasted shirt he's wearing.
This
is
is
fun.
this is totally bizarre. I'd
this
like
is his
someone to
boss.
explain this to me. He shows his boss. Anyway,
He shows
I'm
his
telling
boss.
you the plot.
That's right.
Saluting, yes. There we go.
No.
Obviously,
This is the van.
he's got the old comedy acting.
Because he
as
now
well.
gets sacked, doesn't he? Because he tries to explain that.
Yeah.
No, I don't understand what goes on here.
No, he's going to sack him because he thinks he's a lunatic.
Why though? He's
think-
just showing
well,
him a
because-
van
Saying the
that's
van-
parked illegally. That's perfectly
But it's not
normal.
parked
But it's not
illegally. It's
parked
parked on
illegally,
private
isn't it?
property.
It's on-
How do you know who owns it?
Doesn't matter. It's not public land.
How do you know? I'm going to pick an argument with
All right,
Nick.
where's the
It's
yellow
gonna
line?
last for half an hour.
Where is the yellow line?
Yeah. Where's the sign? I didn't see a sign.
There's no yellow line.
I'm Lieutenant Li Wang of the People's Republic of China's Air Force, now attached to the United Nations Space Station.
So now we know who you are, you know where you are, how you got here, and what we are.
Yes, but you look so ordinary. You all do. That's why it's so incredible.
Oh, I'm just like you, mate. Just plain old Homo sapien. And these suit takes some getting used to, I can tell you.
He rushes to his dictionary to see what that means.
Just how are you different from us Homo sapiens?
Well, there's this.
Oh, yes, we got
dear.
really carried away with our roll bag
Yeah.
of mix now, don't we?
Yeah, getting cocky.
Yeah.
Well, that's nothing. I can do it, and I'm just a simple sap.
It's got the portable on there.
Watch.
Chris, no!
Now, where's he gone then?
Need you ask?
He's gone back to have a bit of comedy.
Oh.
Oh.
Showing a bit too much leg there, Stephen.
Kilt, yes.
Oh, dear, it just
this
is just-
dreadful.
And chase after him. Yep.
He's doing a bit of Frankenstein stuff there.
Don't do that again, Chris.
Of course, the ticket was presumably properly served, and the man who tore it up is now guilty of an offence, isn't he?
I don't know if all that I'm seeing is making it easier or harder for me to believe what you say.
Would you believe there are millions of civilizations on other planets in the galaxy? Would you believe there are already people from Earth living on other planets?
I'm sure what you say is true.
You will have to believe that.
Yeah,
I'm doing, and the other supporting damages.
I believe you've got a flourishing career as an actor.
Actually, he changed his name. He was Rick Young, and then he became Eric Young, didn't he?
Well,
Is he
That's
still
what I thought,
working?
yeah.
Is he alive?
I don't know.
No.
I
This
can't
chap.
understand
Yes,
why
it's
I've
Rick
never heard
Young.
of you.
Eric.
Does nobody know about you?
Well, a few do.
He accepts it.
Those who
all
bought
rather
the
easily.
DVD know about it.
If the governments of the world were to find out about us, well, we think they'd either see us as a threat to them or possibly as some new secret weapon they could use against their enemies.
You are wise. That's most probably what their reaction would be.
Well, fortunately, those who do find out about us are
I love
not
that collar.
usually believed if they try
Huge.
to anyone else.
I've got a few yellow lines on me, haven't I?
Oh, look, now
Yes, systematic.
Branded.
this is a Is that they did this to Inspector Clouseau? Had that already happened?
It had already happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what they're echoing.
Nothing original in our show.
Snap his pencil.
I mean, because that's quite realistic, isn't it?
Yes.
That's what they do to traffic wardens.
That's what they do to traffic wardens.
And the children watching as well.
Right, I'll deal with it.
I'll deal with it.
Will you be careful with that fan? That's going to take me right round the world, that is.
His hair's going silver even then,
Yes,
wasn't
I
it?
just noticed that.
What was that? Sorry.
His hair was going silver. Sorry, after you.
Oh.
There's again.
Oh.
No.
The final irony.
Highly symbolic, you see. The authority is now stripped and destroyed.
Oh.
Why the apple? I didn't quite get the significance of that.
It's so he can throw it down in frustration in a minute.
Oh, right.
And why is the hat not on straight?
Because he's just dejected.
You see, I think it's awful that the Tomorrow People cause this poor chap to go completely bonkers just because he's a traffic warden.
Yeah.
How many more times can you milk this gag?
Don't worry, there's plenty more.
There he goes.
Oh, yes.
You see?
Where did he get the apple from?
Exploding apple.
Did he have the apple on him when he got there? He didn't, did he?
Where it is later.
Well, thanks, Stephen. Mind you, I wouldn't be surprised if the yellow perils had...
Yellow peril? Outrageous remark.
But he takes it in good spirit.
Yeah.
Well, they had no choice in those days,
Thinks
did they?
I'll shoot him later.
We still owned Hong Kong in those days.
Yeah, but he's from the People's Republic.
Yes, exactly. That's what them off.
Okay, come on, Stephen. It's time you were getting back to school. Your Doomsday Men friends will wonder what's happened to you.
Oh yes, we've forgotten about the plot, haven't we? We're messing around.
Well, now they've got back to the actual Doomsday thing, haven't they?
Doomsday Men, your friends.
Oh.
Interesting syntax this chap had, don't you think?
What?
Interesting emphasis on the word.
Can't stop them.
Yes,
You can.
yes.
You can.
That's just the accent he's doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, we still have the problem of what to do with you.
I was afraid you would come to think...
Don't have a visa to live here. I haven't got a problem.
If we wanted to, which we do.
Not after all the trouble we went to go and rescue you.
Couldn't we get
It wasn't a great deal of trouble, was it, really?
Yeah, that'd be the best solution.
Well, I risked my life to
can't
save
just
him.
go to the United Nations headquarters in New York and knock on the door and say, "Hello, it's me, I'm back."
I like to see their faces if
You're a
I
bit of a
did.
card, aren't you?
I don't see how you're going to send me back to the Damocles either.
Well, just you wait and see, smart.
Couldn't he have drifted back?
That is certainly within the realms of possibility. A mass as large as the Damocles might have a gravitational attraction strong enough
That's
to
a
draw you
bad
back
shot,
to it.
isn't it?
Yes.
But it would take a long time.
And by all the rules, I should already be dead. If I was still drifting in space, my life support system would be exhausted by now.
Yeah, I don't think that's something we need worry ourselves about. Your friends had come up with some logical explanation of how you survived. They put it down to a lucky escape. People believe what they want to believe. Even though
That's why they watch this
That's
program.
why. Classic bit of acting. Well.
Where have you been, Stephen? I haven't seen you since breakfast.
Oh, he's missed you, poor
Yeah,
thing.
bless him.
The sound. See, Matron, she give you some of our...
There's a problem with that haircut, isn't there?
Not too young to die. Well, actually, I didn't want to go into there because you might think of me as a sickly wet, always running to matron.
Yes, quite right. Well, how do you feel now?
All right. Must have been something I ate.
Don't you feel me and see?
No, hunger pains more like. Look,
You were just going to look in that drawer.
Yeah, I
for
was,
underpants
wasn't I?
there.
Yeah.
you can join the Brotherhood. There's to be a small ceremony, isn't there?
Ah, the Brüderbund.
Oh, yes. I remember this.
Mars playing in the
Drinking out
background.
of the thingy.
All free music.
Same forest as in the Rifting Time.
I'm sure, yes.
There's McRichto from there.
Take the flaming sword of war,
Oh, that flaming sword.
plunge it into the blood of man.
There.
Yeah.
As the sword cleanses the wine, so does war cleanse the spirit of mankind. As the ancient gods of war spoke to the warriors, saying, "Drink the blood of battle," so we drink this wine.
Having a clue what it's all about.
Tomorrow people don't drink, but you have some wine.
I
It's
know.
supposed to be served at room temperature. He's ruined it by heating it up like that.
Stephen Jameson,
Cop a load of that.
never vanish from the face of the earth. I welcome you to the Brotherhood of the Doomsday Men.
Give us it. Go on, give it. I only meant to have a sip. Yeah.
Your problem started, was it, with the drink?
Yes, that's right. Oh, that day. I've got it on video. Marvellous. And having a sip. Go, give us it back.
Don't they feed you at all in that place?
Hardly.
And what are you doing here?
Well, I didn't know whether to laugh or what. And actually passed round the bowl and everyone had a swig.
It is a very ancient pagan ceremony.
Yeah.
It's probably a dig at
Whatever it
communion,
was, it
isn't
made me
it?
sick to watch it.
It is.
The flaming torches on the hillside in the moonlight. And that was all very moving. What made me come back here is what Dr. Laird
Very
said
odd
to me during
edit,
our
wasn't it?
ceremony.
You obviously messed up.
I totally, must have.
Oh, a flashback.
Disarmament treaty which is due to be signed tomorrow. A treaty that the milk-fed pacifists of this world hope will put an end to the noble art of war. But I can assure you...
That's quite a convincing crap, isn't he?
Tomorrow, the whole world will...
I mean, you agree with him.
Yeah, I think with John...
You can sit down, Alex.
I think with John it's touch and go, yeah.
Oh.
Lee, when is the crew of which you are...
You can see the screws in his balls, look.
Why?
Interesting.
Just about now.
What's that other red thing?
Why? Just about now.
There's another great special effect coming up soon.
Is there?
A bit of stock footage.
Yeah. Apollo 11 taking off.
Yes.
Dear me, it's a bit slow, isn't
It
it?
is a bit, isn't it?
Obviously, this episode was underrunning.
This was still exciting to see a rocket
Actually,
taking off
it's
in
a very good
1974.
shot.
True.
The Doomsday Men. I'm sure they're after the space station.
Impossible. No spaceship could get near enough to attack the Damocles.
Except the
The
relief.
Queen was wearing an outfit like that recently. Do you remember they called it the Harlequin outfit?
That's another bit of stock footage.
Well, what's that stock footage of there?
The Doomsday
That's
Men
some
can't build a
shuttle
space
thing.
station. Well, they haven't got the resources.
Here we go, though. This is a cracker.
What on earth?
That's a
What is
cracker.
it?
Looks very much like the American space shuttle, but not quite.
Much before its time.
Before its
isn't it?
time, very much so, yes. He looks-
They're wearing the costumes from Stingray.
I was just about to say, you can almost see the strings.
Oh, this is when they storm the space station, isn't it?
I seem to remember that the guy was holding this plane on a stick, just out of shot.
We're panicking over nothing. Probably got some fool stunt organised for the actual ceremony. We can go along if anyone wants to, but the place will be crawling with security men. I doubt if there's anything we can do that they can't.
But
Elizabeth-
Elizabeth was right all along. Why don't they listen to you?
They never listen to me.
She's a girl, that's why. What would you expect?
I'm only there to be so.
Oh, my word.
It's
bit
quite
there.
sensible to fire a gun in a pressurised environment. isn't
Absolutely,
it?
and
You
particularly
know.
an extremely old one from the First World War, if not before.
Oh.
He has to put his hat on.
Yeah.
Ah, c'est général.
Well, there you go.
Well, it's getting
a bit
it
of the
done.
uniform they could afford.
It does make lose the plot
This
with
one,
that
yes.
comedy thing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's strange,
Absolutely.
isn't it? Really?
No, it's a big
Very
mistake.
strange.
Yeah, Eric Young,
Eric
he was
Young.
there. Eric Young. He became Rick Young later. But yeah, I always felt it was a mistake. That's why people hated the one with
Oh, Man for Emily.
the Man for
Yeah.
Emily, because it's just taking
crazy.
taking the mick out of it.
I suppose that's a sort of mistaken belief that because children were watching, you had to make it a bit funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just run out of ideas towards the end.
No, well, as I say, I mean that one is full of political emphasis. That whole thing, if you
Yeah.
know what you're looking for, even if you don't.
Well, look forward to the next one, Nick.